Hey everyone, thanks for coming back for another segment of The MCR. Mac is to my left. I have Mr. Thirsty joining us on the phone to share his comments on the topic of this particular segment. Just a few days ago, as I was perusing the news, I came across a not so well circulated article. It appears that in the Michigan Senate, the Michigan senators they're kicking around the constitutional carry bill. For those unaware, I think at least 20 states currently have a constitutional carry bill. And to use Mac's term, because I have to give him full credit for this, Mac referred to this as here in Michigan, it is in the embryonic stage. So thank you, Mac, for that very, very well put term there. Currently, Michigan has a CPL law, and Michigan does recognize CPLs from other states. I believe there has to be an existing reciprocal agreement.
Right.
As long as the state recognizes ours, Michigan will recognize theirs. Most states, not all, but most states have CPLs. So, any thoughts so far, Thirsty? If I'm missing anything?
Well, so far, I know for a fact that, like you get a CPL like in New York. It's still like it was in Michigan back in the 80s, where you have to have a justifiable means to even apply for the permit, and then even it could take months, if not a year and some time to even get it.
Well, you just took me down memory lane. I was going to mention this. If you remember, back in the mid-1990s, it was next to impossible to get a CCW here in Michigan, and at the time they called it a CCW, not a CPL. And even if you got a CCW, they had little boxes at the bottom that had to be checked because they might give it to you, but it would be so restricted it wasn't worth much at all.
And in the Michigan CPL, you do have exemptions. Much like a police officer has, that if I were to go into a school, I can carry, or into a bar, I can carry. But it takes an act of God to get those exemptions.
Oddly enough, and I'd like to take a walk down memory lane here, going back to the mid-1990s, it was a Democrat in Macomb County that pushed the carry issue. I attended more than one meeting of his, he had speaking engagements that I was able to attend. He was basically tired. Carl Marlinga was basically tired, and he said this. He was tired of the criminal element coming north of Detroit. And the final straw in Macomb County was we had a party store that was robbed, and well, let's just say they had a little too much fun with the owner. Okay? And that was really the breaking point. And Carl Marlinga said, you know what? Here in Macomb County, we had a Democrat prosecutor, Carl Marlinga, Democrat sheriff, and at that time, if you recall, we had to appear before a three-person board: state police, county prosecutor, county sheriff. Okay, right. But you only needed a 2 out of 3. You didn't need a unanimous. You just needed 2 out of 3. Carl Marlinga said, me and the sheriff will say yes. It doesn't matter what the state police says. And so a lot of people in Macomb County were getting their CCWs with a 2 out of 3 vote, so much so that the state police started saying yeah. And I remember when I went, I got 3 yeses, and I think it was because the state police says, this guy's getting it, and I guess the state police just got tired of fighting it. But Macomb County, the residents of Macomb County were getting their CCWs, and surprise, surprise, they acted responsibly.
This is what with the Michigan state law.
Yeah.
I really hope they do go with the constitutional carry, because A, we do have a open carry law. We are an open carry state.
But there is a catch to that. There is a catch to that.
In order to be considered open carry, your firearm has to be visible by at least 3 sides, okay?
Yeah.
Michigan state law says on or in a self-propelled motorized vehicle, motorcycles exempt. So to open carry, I can be on my motorcycle with my gun on my hip because it is visible by 3 sides. Now, I have spoken to, like, Taylor Police. They said yes. I've spoken to a Michigan State deputy or police officer. He said no, it's considered concealed even though you're on your motorcycle. That's what I'm understanding is, like, if I want to open carry, I got it on my hip. Now, if I want to get into my car, I got to disarm it and I got to pack it up like I'm transporting to a range.
And that's one of the big reasons for getting the CPL.
It's warm during the day. I don't have my coat on. It gets chilly at night. I put my coat on. Now all of a sudden I'm concealing. It's the laws are so ambiguous when it comes to these, the carry laws. And it's like I was telling Mac anyway. I'm all for the open carry, but is it really that good of an idea?
I don't think it is. I'm not a fan of open carry for a couple different reasons. Open carry does not supersede property rights. So if you went to a particular property, and it doesn't even have to be a hospital or anything, if you went to a particular property, a store, and the store says, whoa, you got to take that back to your car. Well, Michigan has an open carry. Okay, yeah, open carry out on the sidewalk where it's public domain.
Right.
Right.
But so that's, plus if something happens, you're going to be the first target. If a bad guy goes in there, you're the first target.
Perfect example. You can't carry on school property. Like in Ann Arbor, if I'm literally walking on one side of the street, I'm on city property. I cross that street, I am technically on U of M property. Now I'm carrying on school property, which can get me in trouble.
Yeah. I have some theories as to the timing of this. One of my theories is maybe the Republicans are fine with making this an election issue. Then that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I gotta wonder if there's a little bit of wishful thinking going on here. In other words, they're in the works. It's already being, worked on, the embryonic stage, as Max said. But I think they're trying to get ahead of the curve, and the wishful thinking involves favorable 2022 election returns. Republicans making gains in the state legislature.
Well,
and if we're lucky, crossed fingers, if we're lucky, Whitmer's bounced out of office. So I don't know if they're just trying to get ahead of the curve or what.
They even Democrats want to keep their guns, though.
Yeah.
And that may sway a few votes as well.
But Whitmer will never sign it.
She won't sign it.
She'll never sign it.
I would bet money, given an opportunity, she would go door to door and confiscate your gun.
So I don't know. I
Good
just
luck with that.
I just hope we become the 21st state or whatever, here within, and even if elections do go our way, this will not come to fruition until well into next year at the earliest, best possible outcome.
Well, we've all seen the sticker or the meme that says the Second Amendment is my permit to carry, and it is.
Yeah.
It's being infringed. The infringement needs to stop. People have a right to defend their life, and I even say to some degree their property.
I saw a video of an ex-cop, I think it was Tier 1 citizen, where he said, you know what? He goes, I don't know if a CPL or CCW, because different states call them different things. He goes, right now, given the politics, he goes, he wasn't convinced it was a good idea, because it's like you telling the government, I got it and I'm carrying it around with me, and a lot of these Democrat-controlled states are already against that, and he just felt politically you're making yourself a target, but
Well, you'll be making yourself a felon if you do it currently.
Yeah. You know, and I got to tell you, with the random acts of violence, I mean, a guy in New York City got his neck stabbed. He was just leaning, I saw this in the Gateway Pundit, he was just leaning up against the wall on his phone, and this other person walked by him and got about 2 or 3 steps past him, turned and lunged and stabbed him in the neck for no reason at all. Just, you talk about a random act of violence. It's just...
It's funny you bring that up, because I just seen on the news yesterday, because we just, of course, had that, that shooting up in Grand Rapids with a police officer.
Yeah.
But, they're holding these rallies and these protests, and this lady preacher, whoever she was, mentioned that we need more gun-free zones. Do you not understand that that's where the shootings occur?
Yeah.
Look what happened in New York in the subway. New York is very strict on their gun laws.
Oh,
and obviously, it's not working out too well for them.
Criminals don't care about the law.
California, these tight gun control laws do nothing but, inhibit people from protecting themselves. As far as I'm concerned, the 14th Amendment says I have the right to, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And if I can't, defend myself, how am I supposed to pursue my life, liberty, and happiness?
Yeah. So these are my thoughts. Hopefully, first things first, these elections got to go our way this year. And then if the Republicans stay true to this course, maybe by sometime into next year, this will all come to fruition. That's all I got.
And part of it's a money grab.
It could be.
They get, the $200 from us, or $100. I think it's $125 now, for you to get your concealed pistol license.
Well, don't forget about the fingerprinting fee too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to renew is amazingly easy, but to get it the first time costs you like over $200.
Yeah.
Because you got to pay for the course. The course alone is like $125.
Yeah. You can find deals.
It's $200 now.
Well, inflation.
Yeah.
Everything's going up.
Yeah, because the safety course alone is right around $90 to $100, and then you have your trip to the range for the shooting portion.
Yeah.
Which anybody who's fired a gun in the past year, 2 years knows that a magazine worth of ammunition is going to cost you $20.
Yep. All right. Anything else? Okay, we're gonna call this a wrap. Thanks everyone for hanging in there with us. We'll catch you in the next segment. As always, be safe, watch your six, and don't tread on me.